Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you out there, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're having a good, very nice time. Thank you for joining us today. In this our AutoCAD tutorial, we'll be looking at how to use the mirror tool to mirror objects. Just as when you're using the mirror to look at your face and you see yourself in AutoCAD, a mirror tool has been provided that you can actually use to mirror objects that you've drawn instead of drawing them all over again. So I'm just going to show you how to make use of that mirror tool today. Okay, so let me move over to the software itself. So this is my AutoCAD window right now. So in this window already, I have already my units is set to millimeter. I've already set my unit. In case you don't have to set unit, you can go to one of my previous video where I've already taught you how to set limit units. My unit is set to millimeter. Then I also set my limit. My limit is 0,0. Lower limit is 0,0, while the upper one is 1,500, 1,000. And this rectangle is actually makes my limit visible. The length of this rectangle is 1,500, while the width is 1,000. Now, this is the object we'll be mirroring. So let me quickly show you how I actually draw it. This is the dimension of from here to here is 100, here to here is 100, here to here is 100. Then here to here is 100 as well. So let me quickly show you how I actually draw this object. This is the object we'll be mirroring. So quickly, I go to line, I come back to my screen, I click, I draw a line of length 100 of 100. I draw another one from the edge. Make sure your snaps are set on the object snaps, endpoint snaps, midpoint snaps are actually set on. So I connect another one to the ending of that line, still at 100. Okay, I connect a third one to it, still 100. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3 lines, all of length 100. Then right now, I'm going to draw some arcs. So I moved over to arc. So please make sure your snaps, endpoint snaps is actually turned on. Go to object snap setting to turn on your snaps. If I've already explained how you can actually turn on the snaps in one of my previous videos, so you can look it up. Okay, so I go to arc. I want to draw an arc. So I move over. Let me minimize my ribbon so that my drawing area is going to be larger. So I come over here. I minimize the tabs. Okay, just to make my screen larger, more visible. So I zoom in. I'm going to draw this region. So I come over to arc over here. So it tells me to specify start point of arc or center. I click on center. So if I have 3 lines here, I'm going to start from the center of the first line. So this is my first line here. This is the center already. Since my midpoint snap is on, my midpoint snaps shows me the center of the first line. So already midpoint, I click. I am told on the command line to specify start point of arc. When you're doing an arc, you move in an anti-clockwise direction. So if I have to go anti-clockwise, this will be my starting point. So I click this as my starting point. It now says I should specify endpoint. The other part is my endpoint. I click and my arc is drawn. My arc is drawn. So I'm going to draw a second arc. Okay. This is the first. I've drawn the first arc. The first arc was on the first line. The second one starts from the first line and ends on the second line. So let me go back there. I come back here again. This time around, I go back to arc, just like before. I click on the arc tool on my left-hand side. Okay, I click on the arc tool. You see the arc tool. It tells me to specify start point of arc or center. I want to specify center, so I click on center. Okay, now since the arc actually encompasses the beginning of the first line and the end of the second line, the center is going to be where both lines connect. So I click on that center. I click on the center. So now it tells you to specify start points of arc. Like I told you, start points is a location that will enable you to move in an anti-clockwise direction. So this is the beginning of it, still the beginning of this arc, our new arc. I click there. It tells you to specify endpoints. I come down here to the end of the second line. I click and my arc is drawn. Okay. So next we have this line 1, 2, 3. And the length of this line is 100. The length of this one is 100. So I go to line, I click on line 2 here. I come here to the beginning of the third line. I click there. I move towards the left. I type 100 and I press enter. Okay, I stop. I press enter again to terminate the line. I go back to line. I click on line. I am to specify first point. This is my first point. It's ending. I click here. I move my cursor, my mouse towards the left, my cursor towards the left. And I type in 100 on my keyboard. I press enter. I press enter again to terminate the command. I go back to line. I click on line. I click on the end of this line. I drag my mouse down till it connects to the end of this line. My endpoint snap is turned on. Line is drawn, but it's not terminating. So to terminate it, I have to press enter once again. So I have this object that I have drawn before. So now we want to listen. We want to these things we've drawn to be mirrored to the right hand side. So how are we going to achieve that? First and foremost, before I do that, let me just copy this object that we've drawn to this side. So I copy it, drop it down here. Okay. So now, like I said, I want to mirror this. How do I mirror? I go to the right hand side. The first tool is erase. The second tool I have there is copy. The third tool I have there is offset. Sorry, the first tool I have is erase. The second one I have is copy. The third one I have is mirror. Mirror. It says mirror, creates a mirror copy of selected object. So what do? I click on the mirror tool there. On clicking on it, on the command line, it tells me mirror, select object. That is, I am asked to select the object I want to mirror. This is the object that I want to mirror, this arc, and this lines here. So I come here, I select the 2 arc, I select these 3 lines. After selecting, I have to press enter on my keyboard for it to give me the next set of command. I have selected both. What I have on the command line is to select object. For the need to give me the next set of instruction, I have to press enter on my keyboard. So I press enter on my keyboard. Now, on my command line, it tells me specify first point of mirror line. The mirror line is like a line of symmetry. So this is going to be my mirror line, this line here. This line here. So what do? I go to the beginning of the line, I click, I move down. As I go down, the mirror, the other object appears on the right hand side. So as I'm moving along the line, I can just click anywhere. So, but mind you, before you mirror, make sure that your auto mode is on. Mine is on right now. This is my auto mode where my cursor is displayed currently. Make sure it is on. So I come back here. So I come here, I click, and the object appears, but this is not the end. So on the mirror line, there's another set of instruction. It said erase source object. What is this? It's asking me right now is whether I want to erase the original object. My answer is no. I don't want to erase. So I'm going to click on no. No is already there by default. So I press enter and the object has been mirrored to the right hand side. It has been mirrored to the right hand side. Okay. So let me repeat the process again. Okay. In this case, let's assume in a scenario whereby the mirror line is not there originally. You know, we had the mirror, we drew the mirror line when we were drawing the object. There might be a scenario whereby the mirror line is not there. Let's assume a scenario where the mirror line is not there. You have this object and you want to mirror them. You have them on the left. You want to mirror them to the right. Or right now, I want to mirror them to the left hand side. These objects are on my right. I want to mirror them to the left hand side. So what am I going to do? No mirror line. I don't have a mirror line. So what I'm going to do is that you can create your mirror line. Once you become an expert, you don't need a mirror line. You don't need to draw a mirror line. But as a beginner, you might need to draw a mirror line. So let's take it right now. What I'm going to do is that I'll just come here, click on line, come down here, draw a line up here. Okay. So after that, now I want to mirror. I go to my mirror tools. I click on mirror. On the command line, it tells me select object. I select all the objects I want to mirror. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Sorry, one of the line is missing. Let me add that line. This one. Okay. So I attach that one. So I go back to mirror. I click on mirror. It says select object. I select everything I want to mirror. Now, to get the next set of command, I press enter on my keyboard. After pressing enter, it tells me to specify first point of mirror line. This mirror line wasn't the original, but since I want to mirror, I know it's going to ask for a mirror line. That was why I drew this line. You understand? So I click anywhere on the line. It doesn't have to be on the beginning. Anywhere, I click here, and I move down a little. I click at another location. It's asking me, do you want to erase source object? No, I don't want to erase source object. I press enter. So I click on no, and the object has been mirrored from the right hand side to the left hand side. So this is how you mirror. So far, we've mirrored vertically when the object is displayed vertically, either from the left to the right or from the right to the left. How about when we want to mirror either from up to down or from down to up? How do we do it? It's still the same, almost still the same process. So I'm going to show you right now what you do when you want to mirror from the right to the left. So what I'm going to do is that let me delete this object down here. So let's assume right now we have this object down here. We have this object down here, and we want to mirror it to this other side. We have it in this window. We want to mirror to this window. So what do we do? Now, in this case now, this is, you are mirroring from down to up. So it's still the same process. You go to mirror, click on mirror, the mirror tool. After clicking on the mirror tool, it tells you select object. So we're going to select all the objects. I select everything there. After selecting, to get the next set of instruction, I press enter. After pressing enter, it tells you to specify first point of mirror line. Now, my mirror line is going to be horizontal, not vertical anymore, because I'm mirroring from up to down. So naturally, there's a mirror line already provided. So I can use this line as my mirror line. So I click anywhere on the line and I move further. I click again and look at the object. It has been mirrored. So I'm being asked, do you want to erase source object? My answer is no, I don't want to erase source object. I want the source object to be there. So this is actually how you mirror. There's nothing difficult about mirroring your object on AutoCAD. So I actually hope you understood my tutorial on how to mirror objects. If you have any question, please drop them in the comment section. If you have any comment to drop them as well. And if you have any reason why you want to chat me up, you can connect with me on WhatsApp on +234 8038295185. So please, I'll beg you to subscribe to my channel, like my video. You can click on the bell icon so that you will always be notified whenever I upload any video. So thank you for joining me in this lesson. Have a wonderful time. So we'll meet in the next class.